heck? Ark, what are you doing? Let me get comments up here. 1 second, chat. What up, y'all? We're going to build a competitor to Splitwise with Live Store. No, I did not, Crow. I'll pull it up after this. Johannes is the GOAT. He's the same guy that built Prisma. Live Store uses Effect under the hood. And let's pull this up. Oh, I did not watch this yet. I'll watch this later. What's it gonna give me to listen to for my playlist today? We got Dwelling. That's not a bad list. Here we go. This is a good one. All right, I need to blur my screen a little bit. I made a lot of progress yesterday on this. I just need to get my screen set up in such a way that I don't leak anything. Okay. Yeah. I just want to make sure to try to avoid my leaking my finances again. What up, Patel?
Come ride a camel with me today.
God damn. There we go. All right. So I made some good progress on budget sync yesterday off stream, and I have it at a pretty good spot here. If we go and look at my logs, I have the cron off right now, but if we look at one day, we can see that you can see all this testing I did. And we have most of this working now. You can see this synced my budget and Justine's budget and the test account. We need to, what do we need to do right now? I'm trying to remember where I left off last night. It was quite late. Yeah, I temporarily showed my account balances by accident, which is fine. Like, I don't mind. I just don't want to be like showing it a lot. Something like that. Wouldn't mind if you donate some of your cash to us. Win the keyboard and I will. All right, so we've got this all in. I had to change some stuff around. Querying by status last night was the thing I had to change. Yeah, this is one of the last things I changed here. This index used to be completed, and I realized that we have this problem, probably, or actually for sure, where you could get in a state where we basically had to lock. We basically had to use a sync record as a mutex. So if there's already a sync in progress, it does nothing. I accidentally double synced all of my transactions from Splitwise to YNAB in like one go, or like not one go, like within a couple seconds, which ended up being 4,400 transactions I posted to YNAB last night by accident. I'm surprised I didn't get flagged. But the good thing is the batching works. Let's see here. In ElectroDB, budget sync in here. We started doing this thing where I do right here, this in progress records. So I'm trying to think if I can turn on the actual sync right now, or the cron job. I think we can. I have the cron set up on Vercel already. I just have to go turn it on. So let's actually do that. Let's set this to the past 30 minutes. Refresh. I don't know why I had to clear that state. And let's come here. Cron jobs. It's gonna run every 5 minutes. It should post no transactions here. Part of me also wants to change how I'm doing this. All right. Yeah, I think I might want to change how I do memos. Where I do description and then category, potentially. Well, I guess this is fine. It's parsable. I guess this is fine, actually. This doesn't matter. All right, let's flip the cron on. Cron is running, and for what the cron looks like, if you recall yesterday, hold on, let me, is it swap, window, the source is 3, the target is 1. Nice. We'll rename this to budget sync. Whoops. So I got the mono repo set up working. Then I set up this API, and there's one API route, which is what the cron hits, which looks like this. Would you describe yourself as a workaholic? Yeah, probably. Although this isn't for work, right? This is just like my own thing. But yeah, I probably have the tendency to work more than I probably should. Let's go ahead and npm I. We'll go to the root. There we go. So in our handler, we perform this effect for checking auth, which auth just comes down here and does an auth check, right? When you set up cron jobs on Vercel, it passes this cron secret header that you set, and that's how you validate that the request is coming from Vercel. So we do that. And then the sync is actually what we've just been working on. We fetch all of the accounts, and then we loop over them, and we call budget. We do a sync. In fact, we can turn off this limit of 5. We'll see. Do you think you'll be able to play a video game this year? Yeah, I do. Oh, get that off screen. I've already started playing Oblivion a little bit, but I want to get back to playing Oblivion and like really time sink into that. I've got probably 2 or 3 weeks of like very intense, like I need to grind out a lot of work for a project at work. But after that, things should slow down a bit. The security token included in the request is expired. Interesting. How do we keep it authenticated? I don't know how to do that. Command K, new chat. Let's see here. How can I keep a AWS DynamoDB client authenticated when deployed to Vercel without the secret expiring. I'm currently using I don't understand. Does anyone know how to do this with Dynamo? How do I create static keys? All right. Let's see if we can get this to work. What is the difference between these? Whatever, we'll do this one. Do I need others beyond? All right. Okay. I think I just need to create this. I think I'm doing the right thing. I use Raycast for the tiling manager too. Yeah. I'm gonna blur this because at some point it's gonna give me my keys. Where are you? Key spaces, access key, create access key, third party, application. All right. I'm gonna go add this to Doppler. Oh, what the fuck? Doppler. Does AWS not have a stream route? Hold on, guys. Justine's calling me. Hello? Hello? Justine? Poor Winnie has an ear infection. All right, I think I did it. Let me get a Doppler. Let me make sure that prod is the one syncing. Yep. Nice. I love Doppler chat. Doppler is so good. I can like store all my environment variables in Doppler and it just automatically syncs them to Vercel, and I can sync them to my local dev all through a command line. It's so nice, and they automatically sync. You can see that this was updated 1 minute ago. Did we end up turning on the cron? The cron is on. The last it ran was at 8, so it should run again here in a minute. We have to redeploy though. Well, maybe not. We probably should redeploy. We should see. What should we see here? There's another thing that I have to fix. I don't think I have flushing for my OTel span set up completely correctly. Where did I do that at? Over here. This finalizer should work. Yeah, this feels like it should work. I kind of want to come in here and do a something like this, and then return you, do that, and then just say console.log flushing spans. What up, XMN? Okay, this all looks good. We got the runtime working. Yeah, this is fine. The next thing we need to do is, I think this might be about good if this works. We want to go to the initial sync or not the initial sync, the sync script, and make sure it's not limited to 5. Limit 1, that is what we want there. Wrong file. This is the file we want. Okay. So that'll be in the route then. Yeah, we want to get rid of that. It should sync everything. Really, we should just do a limit of like 100. It should never be more than 100. All right, so that deployed. See the logs. Okay, that hit. That worked. Yeah, good. So nothing's synced. So if I come in and I'm going to add a Splitwise transaction. Which I have a handful to do here. Can I filter this shit from my phone? All right, so we have a Duncan. So I'm gonna come into here, and I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go into here, and I'm going to do Duncan, and that was for $23, and we have our default split. I do that. I can remove that. And if I run this sync manually, which I just have to go and send this request here. Let's get off there. Shoot that over. We should see a 202. Then we should see this run over here. What time is it? It's 8:09. So we should see a log pop up. And let's come check the Dynamo table. 8:09, there's the sync. Didn't we just see that? 8:09, there we go. We see created. We should see this created at in 2 different budgets. That's mine. Yep. That looks possibly incorrect. Is that right? No, that is right. Yeah, they would be just the inverse. So it created a YNAB transaction there, it created a YNAB transaction there. We got sync records. I think this worked. And if I run it again, we should see that it no ops basic. Well, there the cron just ran. Yeah, that's the cron. And the cron came back with interesting. So I want to update those records. Why did that happen? I'd be interested to see if we run it again, if we get updates again. I wonder if the updated logic is wrong. So it's going to be the get most recent sync date. So we get that. We pluck the created at timestamp from the updated after. Is it updated before? This might be updated before. No, because we want to look at a date and then look into the future. So we see in our table, let's go look at our table here. My token's expired, annoying. I'll just pull one of these guys quick. Let's log in quick. Sorry for the flashbang. What up, Maxwell? We're cooking. We are cooking. So I'll be curious to see. We should push this. Updates. Get push. That will redeploy. All right, I want to see what the dates are. Right. And we want to look at, we can filter out the test, which is at 2 dB. I think these are the, yeah. And then we want transactions. Do we really only have 2 sync records? There we go. Yeah, we had more sync records. That's what I thought. All right, what is the created at timestamp on this record? So we had created at is, these are all pretty close to being the same. Five. This is the most recent. Oh, I wonder if we have a bug. T. Because this should theoretically be the most recent. The sort key. What is the sort key on? The sort key is going to be on, let's see here, by status. Created at ISO full date. That should probably be not created at ISO full date. It should be created at, that's why it's weird. All right, that's in GSI 1 though. Shit. All right, we have to fix this. I'm just trying to think about how I want to do this. This doesn't make sense here. Damn it. Our neighbor hit their garage?
Our neighbor hit their garage.
Which neighbor?
The one right next to us.
How bad?
The, frame where the garage is, cracked.
Yikes, dude.
They're not getting their security deposit back.
Wrecked? Did you look at when he's here?
No.
Okay.
That's a you job, remember?
What?
I've assigned that job to you.
I mean, I've already looked at her ear. I've already been in it.
Yeah, but you didn't smell it. I don't want to smell it.
It's like red. It's like the color of your shirt red.
Ooh, then yeah, I'll look for eardrops.
Oh no, you're so handsome.
Wow. How did they do that? Did they back into it or just drive into it?
I think they probably cut it too wide and just hit it. Because I noticed the other day too that the front bumper's off their car.
Oof.
And I think they do back in.
Rip.
So yeah, no, that's a bad day.
That is a bad day.
I just noticed it though, and I was like, oh, I gotta come tell you. So yeah.
Rip.
Wait, what's that?
What? Morning, dogs and Justine.
Oh, good morning. Good morning, Bodhi. Let's go get breakfast. Let's go get breakfast. Bodhi, would you like breakfast?
All right, how do we want to do this, chat? This is our bug right here. I wish I could data compare. Support for this will be, okay, that's not what we want. I think we're gonna need to change the index. Probably. In the interim, I'm gonna turn off the cron job because that's just gonna create more records for us to update. So let's go turn that off. Okay, cron is off. We can look at Axiom too to confirm if that's what's happening. It's just really not returning data right now. Yeah, something, my freaking span exporter is not flushing correctly. I don't know why it's not flushing. Maxwell, are you still in here? Dashboards. Hotel. Why would that not flush? So I have OpenTelemetry set up. All right, I have a custom runtime. Let's start at the route so I can show you the full flow of data here because it's not that much. So I have this Next.js route, right? And I basically use a custom runtime or a managed runtime to run 2 different effects in this handler. Inside here, what this looks like, it's not that exciting. It just runs promise exit and then maps it to something closer to a typical result rather than an exit. I have this OTel layer where I set this stuff up in this finalizer. When should this run? This should run when I don't know when this is gonna run. It should run when the Lambda or when the app spins down, right? Or when I provide a scope down here, right? Because using this adds the scope, and then I add it here. Am I doing this correct? Classic? Oh, and an ad break. Okay, yeah. So I don't see the flushing spans get logged at all. Okay, so I'm not getting my spans flushed to Axiom when this runs for some reason. So I have my OTel set up here, right? And I just create my service. I get all this stuff. This is fine. And I add this finalizer that force flushes. When should this run? I provide, when I construct a layer, I do the node SDK layer, create service, and then I provide a layer.scope. And then in my custom runtime, I have this and I run it via this run promise result. And that runs it in this Next.js route, right? We run a effect here, and then we run an effect in after here. But I never ever see that flushing exporter log. Like, let me go make sure that my last deployment actually deployed. It did. So if we hit this, that's accepted. We should see logs over here. What time is it? 8:24. Do you ever shut down the managed runtime? No, I don't. Do I have to do that manually? So like, I suppose I would want to do something like in here. Do this. Why would do you know why it would never close? Do I need to create a new runtime for each request? Because right now I'm just importing it and it's made. Oh, maybe that's why? This is running on Fluid, so it's not 1 lambda per invocation. Do I just like try to like propagate the scope up and like provide the scope here? Okay. All right, we can work on something else in the interim. We can technically yield that resource, and I think we could flush with that. Like, I think we could technically do something and force it. Something like effect.gen function star const underscore equals yield star resource. No, I can't force flush this. All right, that doesn't do what I thought it did. I would need to get the exporter out. All right. I mean, this makes sense, right? If the runtime I'm creating the runtime here. I bet if I made the runtime in each invocation, it would probably work. Because it's running on fluid, it's running on an instance that might not spin down. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I partially copied what I was doing. Yeah, I'll try that. This isn't super important at the moment. I can do, what can I do here? We can force this, right? I can... Technically, this would end up being my span exporter. And then I could yield the exporter and I could force flush it. What else is exported from here? I'd be willing to bet, yeah, I'd be willing to bet if I spun up a new runtime here in every request, it would do it. We could force garbage collection. Whatever. Not super important right now. But it is puzzling. All right, we need to fix this date problem first and foremost. The date problem is the bigger problem.
Dylan, what the hell?
What?
I was like, where's the water pitcher? It's just the back corner of the dining table.
I don't know what I do. Created at ISO full date. Actually, that should be okay. Created at ISO full date. No, it's not. We just want created at. Yeah. I think this just needs to be created at. Yeah, I think that's what we want. Then we get by status. Update by status index. And we'll get push that. Why is it still split? What happens if you call... What happens if you call a function on the runtime? Like if I do this, then after that line. Error, manage runtime disposed. So it's like I want to flush. I mean, I can just drop the flush time really low on the exporter, because like I think it's 10 seconds by default. Timeout millis, default value is 10 seconds, yeah. I mean, we could drop this to like, just throw in one every 250 milliseconds. Flush frequently. It's just good advice in life, you know, chat? Flush frequently. Oh, we got an error. What is our error here? Composite attribute must be one of... Okay, so that broke. GSI1 status GS. Do we not have created at? Should be created at, completed at ISO date and time. Are we even using this anywhere? I don't think we're using this anywhere. We're not. We can get rid of this. Set headers completed at. Do we have that even in the data? Completed at ISO date and time. That's just... Yeah, that's redundant. We don't even need that. Why is that sort key not okay? Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, sure. We're actually gonna retrofit this, and this is gonna be hidden true. We're just gonna do ISO string. This will be created at, we'll take this and throw that in there. That should fix that. It's annoying. Fix composite. Git push that. All right, let's see if that deployment works a little bit better. I'm curious, I bet if I turned fluid compute off, that we might see it flush. I'm thinking that would cause it, because then it's a single Lambda invocation rather than a server. It's okay. Deployment complete. All right. Let's go ahead and hit this thing here. Let's go over to our logs. And we will, what was it, time is it? It's 8:41. Let's throw in live. And let's hit this with a request. Boom. We should see this show up in a second. Ooh. Incomplete composite attribute. Use the composite chain method to update. Come on, take me to that anchor tag. Where is this? Composite. No, invalid collection. We were just looking at this the other day. I remember reading about this and not understanding where I needed to do this. Attributes, composite, composite, composite. Maybe it's update, which we do patches everywhere. So if we go look at patch, composite. The composite chain method helps build keys during an update using attributes that are not being modified. For example, some cases where this is helpful are the following: migrating existing entities in place to use a new secondary index, updating attributes that appear in an index composite when one or more of the other composite attributes are read-only. That is our case. One edge case arises when requiring all composite attributes for a key. When requiring all composite attributes for a key are provided, if one of your attributes is flagged as read-only, how can you provide it to an update? This edge case is handled with composite chain method. This method allows you to provide key composite members without providing those values to a mutation like set. Okay, so I think we got to go. I think that makes sense. Let's see here. That's going to be over here, and I believe it would be sync record dot. So not a update. Yeah, it's right here. What do you need in here? Created at ISO full date. And I think we have to chain composite here. And it's said to do it. Let's see here. Created an ISO. Dot created at to ISO string. I'm curious if that will fix the problem. We need to, I need to set this up to be able to run this locally rather than up there. So we're gonna actually change this around a little bit. This is going to update to take a config. So let's come in here and say, I'm actually not even positive how that's working because those are redacted. We might be able to do let's see here. How do I want to do this? I mean, I could just put these in my environment. That would actually be fine. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Now that I think about that, I have those in Doppler. So I can do pn cat package JSON, and we have some scripts in here, secrets pool, yeah. So I can do bun run, or I can do npm run secrets pool. Brew install Doppler. Doppler auth Doppler login. There's a yoink. Next, budget sync, finish login, close you, and I want to pull this token does not exist. This token does not have access to the requested. Damn it. Doppler. All right, I'm gonna blur my screen for a second and just copy paste. Budget sync, production. And I want to, how do I do this? Copy secrets.env, yep. And then I will go into here, .env, .local. Write that yoink g, and I will do the same thing in apps API. .env, .local. Okay. Wait. Hey, enough. Let's go. Go. Out. All right, we need to, I want to copy, am I still blurred? I am still blurred. When did I generate this? May 27th, 8:51 a.m. That's not right. One second, chat, apps, API, .m.local. I guess that is the right one. Okay. Whatever. I guess that makes sense. The update would be later. Okay, so I should be able to run this locally now. Although we did deploy, so it should be good. So we can try doing that again. Let's get this running live. That happened at 8:41. So let's go check our deployment, see if that deployed 5 minutes ago. Good. Let's go back to logs, turn on live. Let's hit it. See what happens here. 202 accepted. You should see some logs coming. Okay, we still got it here. The conditional request failed. Hold on, chat. I need to listen to see what Winnie's doing. I might have to put Winnie in the comb. She's out there scratching at her ear. I'll be right back, chat. I gotta go figure out what to do about Winnie's ear. And then we'll figure out what's going on here. We should be set up to run locally, so I wonder if we at least got traces. No. Okay. Wonder if we've got data in bad states here. We do. That's interesting. Ready. We're gonna have to delete these ready records. They should be ending up in error status, which is weird. All right, I'll be right back, chat. Poor girl. Her ear's so red. All right, let's get this running locally. Let's go to main, and we'll get that taken, and this is going to get const budget sync equals yield star budget sync. Dot budget sync, that'll give us that. We need to delete to there, that'll give us our layer. Now we can try to run our sync here. We can go here, dot sync, and then I need to pass it a account, which is going to be create account, and I can yoink that, that's my account. And we'll go ahead and throw that in there, and we'll yield star that, and this should run. If we come down here, quit that, Z to client, bun run, source main, access key ID, dir and allow. There we go. All right. Update sync records status. All right, we're getting the same error. Screen is still blurred. Oh, sorry, chat. Now we should at least see these hit Axiom now. Really? Still no? Did I skill issue myself? I might have skill issued myself. I don't know. I might have skill issued myself partially. Oh, this makes sense that this wouldn't do that.
Speaks the gospel of the camel. I speak the gospel of the dunes.
TSX.
The sand is in my veins.
This should probably give us a better. One thing that
Come
sucks
right
about
camel with
Bun
me.
is
There.
that it doesn't give very good error messages. Tag sequential. $58.13 in ElectroDB, which is probably going to just be $256.9. I know where that's happening. Budget sync 318. All right, let me let's go clean up these ones that are in this like ready status, because that's a bug. I'm gonna sneeze. Ooh, I think I know where I have to fix this. It just occurred to me. It is going to happen. We need to add the composite key. Where this fails. Update record status by ID. We did, didn't we? We put the composite on there. I'm almost certain this is what's failing. If we do that and we run this now, what happens? These are all stuck in ready status, so we can delete those. I don't know what I'm filtered on here. There we go. I really just want to filter down to my account for the time being. All right, let's work through this. We're about to do that exact exercise, Sinister. Okay. All right, so when we sync, we go from we create a transaction in ready. So that'd be create record. Is there a issue here? Do we need to set anything? I don't think so. That sets it to ready. We get that. We drop into here. We should find let's log this. Updated after. I'm curious. We shouldn't even really be getting to where we're seeing. It's undefined, which isn't correct. So if we look at the most recent sync date, this function's failing. So get most recent completed sync record. In here, we get by status completed. Budget sync account ID completed. That should give us at least one record. If we come down here and we narrow down to just the records, we filter there, and we look at the status, these are all completed. We should get that, and we should end up on this bottom one. this should be the date that comes out right here. Or really, it should be that. I would expect to see this date come out right here. But why don't we see that? So let's try to just run that in main. So in here, rather than getting budget sync, let's get our ElectroDB client. So we'll say constdb equals yield star budget sync ElectroDB. And we should go and update that to a namespace, but we'll do budget sync electroDB layer. Whoops. This will be a budget sync electroDB layer. There we go. And now in here, we should be able to do, let's underscore it, equals yield star db dot get most recent. Get most recent completed sync record by account ID. And we can make this that 11. F9. Yeah, that's my account. And we'll just say this is result, and we'll log this. Yield star effect dot log, and we'll say result. We see none. Why do we see none? That's so weird. 11.9. That's right. By status is completed. We should at least see it here now. This would be weird if we didn't. Yeah, so we get 1. Why can't we query by the status? Oh, it's because the sort key. The sort key's messed up. Yeah. It's because I did I basically, oh shoot. I know what I did, chat. I know what I did. If I delete these, delete, all right, and then I need to go delete on here. Just nuke all these, And there's how many transactions here? 6 selected, reject that. And then I come over here and I run sync. So let's go back to main. And we comment that. And then we go here, we do that. And we're going to set a limit on this to 6. So it doesn't sync 2,000 transactions. And here I want to basically want to go and do something like this. Ugh. All right, let's see if that gets us anywhere. Conditional request failed. Why? From ready to in progress. Oh, because I have to do the same thing here. Or no, I don't. Status is in progress. By that, when we update the sync record status, we get the existing get sync record by ID. Okay, that should give us so that's what it used to be. When it was just this. Oh, I can't update the status without deleting the record. And right, because it's part of the sort key, I can't update the status without deleting the record and recreating it. Which means, right, I think I read this in the docs. Migrating places, updating attribute from one or more. That's what we want to do right here. I think we need to do, I think we need to put status here. Do we say status is the old status or the new status? I'm curious. I'm almost certain that's the issue. Let's go clean up here. Budget sync account ID. And what do we... Yeah, we want to... This should be stuck in ready status. All right? Yeah. So let's delete that. And let's run again. So we still get a conditional check fail. And let's delete this guy again. And let's try the previous status. We're gonna get the syntax right here, I swear to God. We'll get it. Let's try this next. Okay. We come here and then we do let's do this, and then this would be sync record.status dot status. Still no? I clearly don't completely understand how this works. This is what's happening here. This updating composite attributes. ElectroDB adds some constraints to update calls to prevent the accidental loss of data. If an access pattern is defined with multiple composite attributes, and ElectroDB ensures the attributes cannot be updated individually. So we need to update all of them. Is that what I'm seeing? So what is our composite? Again, it's like status and created at isostring, which I have here. Maybe I don't need this. Maybe I just go here and we do this. And this would be options.status. Right. But we had that down here. I don't understand how to do this. Budget account. I really don't understand how this works. Okay. I'm gonna try commenting that out, and we're gonna go here. And just see what happens. Just start trying to peel back some of the complexity. The composite is seems like that would be sync record dot status. Okay, so that worked. That's a good start. So if we go in here and look at that. We just got all our transactions. Don't know why there's a second one in there. What is the timestamp on that thing? Oh, that happened 2 minutes ago. So that's old. All right, so now we want to add the date to the sort. That's all I want to do is add the freaking date to the sort key. Created at ISO full date. Yeah, I can't do that. All right, so let's say this isn't hidden, and we do this, and we add created at ISO full date back to this thing. And we go here. I just did the wrong one. I just realized. GCC. It's this guy. I think that's what we want. So let's try that again. So let's clean up our data. And we'll come in here. These are transactions in the sync. Delete that. Boom. And we'll run. All right. toISO string is not a function. That's interesting. What do we get in here? No records. All right. So let's look at, oh goodness, I'm tired. Incomplete composite attribute. Without the composite attributes created at ISO string, the following access patterns cannot be updated. If a composite attribute is read-only, it cannot be set. Use the composite chain method on update to supply the value for key formatting purposes. Okay. I mean, that makes sense, right? We know we can come over here and we can say created at ISO string. And that would be sync record dot created at ISO string. Theoretically, that should work. Delete that guy, nuke that, back over here, run you. So that worked. That looks like it just worked. Okay. That looks good. Let's delete those again. And now I want to hide that record. I think that might be, yeah. Which we can just do in this case. This would be created at dot to ISO string. And that should still work. Please work, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work, please work. Let's go, chat. I think we figured it out. And hopefully this time we end up with a, well, let's see here quick. Let's go look, just look at the data, have a peeksies. Look at you. Yeah. Status completed, created at ISO, and that should be the same as the created at timestamp on here. Yeah, it is, 8807. And so when we run this again, we should find one. We should get an error of running this. Should say like, yeah. And that should have created no transactions with it. Right, these should all just be associated to that first one. Yep. So at no opt, that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, I think I solved this. I think this is solved. I don't even think I need this completed at ISO date and time though. It seems like a column we don't need anymore. Let's see if any of these have it set. Some of them do. What is this? That's a sync record. So I can basically delete I can surely delete all of the budget sync accounts for this one because this is my test account. Right? Email, yeah, test. So let's come in here and we'll just delete all these. Nuke those, and then we'll do Justine's account. And we'll do my account. Do hers first. Delete these.
It's the gospel of the camel. I
Go
speak the
there.
gospel of the dunes.
And then
The sand is in my veins. Come ride a camel with me today.
my... Thank you, Mr. Bazzani. When the please work kicks in. Yeah. We'll get rid of these. And then we'll go clean up in YNAB. Get rid of all these. Reject. And I'll do the same for hers. I'm going to blur. Delete those, reject. Back to mine. Collapse that. All right, so we've run our initial sync here. Unblur. We should see in our database that the only records are accounts. That's good. Perfect. This is what we want. All right, now when I deploy this, let's look at the diff here. There's one thing I know I need to change quick. I think we got this though. Let's run a type check quick. Hopefully we're good. Great, save everything. Go up to here and I need to update the span and get rid of that V2. Yep. Then we'll go ahead and do that. Fix composite again, git push. Do you encounter performance issues with EffectTS? Quite the contrary. Effect helps you write faster code. Oftentimes because it lets me nail concurrency way better. And way easier. As a learning exercise, and two, I just really like I like Dynamo. And it's really, really cheap. Like, I've synced tons of records to this thing over the past couple days. And like, let me go look at my billing and cost management. I'm at 3 cents and I've written probably at least like 50,000 records to this database in the past 2 days, where like my limits on Postgres or on Supabase and Postgres and stuff, which is what I was using before. Like I was having to pay $10 a month if I wanted more than 10,000 records. Dynamo is a bit of a mind shift, but once you nail it down, like it's super powerful. All right, so that just deployed. Let's hop over to the logs. Let's go live. And now when I hit this, you know what? I don't think it's quite ready. I think I have this. Where's the limit? We have that limit at 100. Actually, this should be good. All right, let's hit this with our REST client. Fingers crossed. Should see this pop up any second. There it is. Oh, that's that random ass log that came in. And here's the completed. We got results. All right, looks like 527. Looks like it might be good. Let's go check the database. Well, let's check this. Oh no. Right. I forgot. On the initial sync, I have to limit it so I don't pull. Oh, that's silly. Okay. We're just going to reject all of that. And I'm going to jump over and clear the database. That was silly. And let's pick the entities we want. Oh, meditation time, chat. What's nice is these all get ordered and grouped by account here. Because of the sort keys. So we'll come in here and we'll just delete those. Okay. And we'll turn off the filter on the entity. There we go. And I have to go clean up Justine's budget quick. Let's see here. How do I get to this? That's not what I want. Splitwise. Reject all 97 of those transactions. Go back to my budget. Go to Splitwise. Collapse that. All right. We should be in a clean state here. Now I need to run this locally. Let me Humbler. We'll run that limit saved our life right here. This limit stopped it from creating like 2,300 transactions. I made that mistake several times yesterday. So that's good. That's good on me. So here we're gonna do limit 6. And we're going to do this for her account and mine. So let's go find, I forget what her account ID is. Right here. We'll sync both of those. And we'll just do them sequentially because it's the initial sync. All right. Theoretically, chat, we go in here. Boom. Here's my account. There's the one sync. Here's the records. They should add up to, this is saying that I owe her $314.30. And then this should be the opposite direction. She is owed $13. Let's see if that matches up to what Splitwise says. $314.30. Good. And I have the transactions there. $314.30. First try. Everyone saw that happen first try on stream today, right? It was a first try. So the next thing to try, right, is running and hitting it up here, because that should make it, it should basically no op when we do this now. I hit this, 202, Let's see it come in. Come on. There it is. This probably created it for the test budget. No results for that one. That's the test budget ID. That's the test budget ID, empty array for the other account. No opt. We did it. We freaking did it. All right, so next, I'm going to try to add a transaction from my phone to Splitwise. And we're going to say, what is the next one I need to add here? Normally I don't do this from my phone because it's a freaking pain in the ass. All right, so it'll be Pete's Old Fashioned Burgers. And that was 30.72. Click that, save, and we'll flag that off. And now if we go and, so this is what, 30201. I hit this again. We should see it process. Basically, it should create 2 transactions, right? It should create one for her and it should create one for me. Okay. Created for me. Nothing for the test account. Created for her. Go look at this. Synced. Let's go. Oh. Okay, that means we can turn on the cron job. And now she and I can just continue to use Splitwise and it will automatically keep this in sync for us, which this is basically where I wanted to get to. This is where I had the old version at, just really, really, really buggy and like impossible to fix because of bad data when it would happen. But now we should have telemetry in here too. Yeah. When was the last 5 minutes? Total traces. 9:45. That seems right. Yeah, so we hit that for the 3 different accounts. That was what just came in right now. I don't know what that one was. But it seems like it must be flushing when the compute instance goes down. So flushing might be working actually. Look at that beautiful concurrency. Ah, so good. Look at that. So good. Trace the whole way down. Okay. Couple small things to update. We're going to go to the route. I just noticed that we have a API. This will be sync. Yep. I kind of want to get this. We have 10 minutes. I can probably refactor this into a 1. Empty house. So let's come in here and we'll do, say this is going to take a request, which will be the next request. And then we'll do const, we'll just yield star auth, pass through the request. Now this should return, oh, I can't put that in there, can I? Because that runs, no, I do need to do that separate. Right. Yeah. All right, that's okay. So let's go ahead and redeploy here. Just say updates. I have no idea. Boom. And we should start seeing sync records come in for like every 5 minutes. Hopefully these are all completed. Yeah. Let's go. Wow. What a journey there. Really, I don't care about the test account, but I do care about these two. Dude, this is so nice having this. Chat, you have no idea how much of a time saver and convenience this will be for Justine and I now that this is working. And so I think tomorrow we're gonna probably try to make make a NeoVim plugin that puts my chat like over here. I think that's gonna be the plan there. So we'll have something like, I do this so infrequently. So we'll have my chat like running right here. And maybe I don't even make it NeoVim. Maybe I just make it with Effect CLI. And then I can just run it and have it running in the CLI, and it'll just be like that. That seems like a pretty good idea, right? So I don't really need a NeoVim, I just need to be able to see it. I can go full screen to collapse it. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. And we have some of that code already written in Effect that we can use. Let's go, for our last 5 minutes, go investigate what Effect the CLI looks like. Platform. I need like a loop, right? That's so bright. Can I just write to the screen? Prompt, variance, utils, prompt any, return, tuple, prompt, text, integer, multi-select, toggle. I like basically wanted to sit and listen to standard in. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. So basically, I'll have a WebSocket connection, and I just want to constantly stream the output of that WebSocket to the terminal. And then if I enter text, I want to be able to send that. I don't think this is going to be able to support it, because I'm going to need to tap into being able to like listen for keystrokes almost. Because every keystroke I hit, I'm going to have to refresh the terminal. And check my calendar quick, make sure I don't have anything right at 10. No, I don't. Okay. Printer. Let's see. I don't know what a usage is. Oh, it's an example. Yeah, I see. Constructors, slow, hidden list, toggle, execution, run. Maybe we can make our own little loop with it. I don't know. We'll play with this tomorrow. Either way, we're going to start getting Twitch chat into my terminal one way or another. In fact, there might even be an out-of-the-box solution. Let's ask this. Is there a CLI for running Twitch chat in the terminal and being able to respond? Is it really that easy? Is it really that easy, chat? Is that gonna work? So bun I dash G Twitch CLI. We probably have to like log in if I had to guess. Twitch dash help. Off to a strong start. Is this just busted? They must just have like a broken Twitch chat. It's just completely broken. I don't know if it's just my version of Node. FM list. We'll try V16. All right, what is the LTS right now? Jod? Yeah, no, it's just like busted. Something's wrong with their chalk dependency. All right, I'll do some homework on this. Man, it would be nice if this worked. All right, I gotta wrap up anyways though, chat. So I will catch y'all tomorrow, and we'll find someone to raid. We'll probably raid Eduardo. Doing some O'Camel. All right, y'all. I'll catch you tomorrow.